Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Inappropriate Movie Database, the comedy game show about content warnings. I'm your host, Nick Martucci, and I am so excited you decided to watch this video, whether you're watching live or long after we've all perished from this earth. I'm so happy you chose to watch this. This is episode 79 of this show, which is way more than I thought I was going to do of this show. So if you aren't already, you should go ahead and subscribe to the channel. There's, like over 3 days of the show available to watch, and some of it's pretty good. Also, before we get started, and this is going to be a fun one tonight, but before we do that, huge announcement. If you are watching live or soon, tomorrow, Tuesday, the 12th of April, if you are in the Boston area, please come out. We are doing this show live and in person at the Midway Cafe in Jamaica Plain at 7 p.m. It's $5 at the door. It's going to be a wonderful show. Danya Tromer is going to be there, Angela Sawyer, Amma Marfo, Xavier Maurice, producer Josh Pick's going to be there. We're going to start off with a set from Tyler Tuttle. Like, it's a great show. Also, right after at 9 p.m., there's going to be a whole other stand-up show hosted by Josh Pick and Angela Sawyer. $5 gets you into both of those shows. That's a full night of comedy for, the price of 500 pennies. You should please come out. For more info on that. Check out the Facebook page. If you search Inappropriate Movie Database or click the link in the description of this video, you can find the Facebook group or follow us on Instagram and Twitter at IMDb Game. All right, I think I got everything I needed to say out. I'm so excited for this episode. We just did this topic last month. It went so well, we had to do it again. We are revisiting IMDb's top 250 movies of all time. So these are undisputed best movies of all time, according to IMDb users who are God in this game. So it's gonna be a fun night. I'm so excited. We've got two returning favorites, two new guests joining me on the show tonight. Are Conor Shanahan, Jason Isaac Dubinsky, Katie Gartner, and Lloyd Legacy Sharp. Hey, everybody.
Hey, Nick. Hey, guys.
Hi. It's good to be here again.
Well, let's talk to a certain somebody first. If you saw the last time we did the IMDb Top 250, it's hard to forget the feelings and emotions that Lloyd had over what he found out were the top 250 movies of all time. So we had to have him back for this one. Lloyd Legacy Sharp back on the show. Hey, Lloyd.
Should I be doing some jazz drumming?
Hi, Nick. I'm using this to try to keep myself. It's not going to work, but I'm going to use this as a kind of a. Hi, Nick. Thanks for appreciate you, bro.
How you feeling about going back to the top 250?
I am definitely having feelings, Nick.
I will say I've looked over the list. I don't know if there's a whiplash on here. There are some questionable choices, but I think
I'm sure.
I think we hit most of the worst ones last time, but we'll see. There still might be some fun stuff on here.
Define fun.
Lloyd, I love you. Thank you for coming back to the show.
Sure.
Also returning to the show, always happy to see him, Conor Shanahan's back. Hey, Conor.
Hey, Nick. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. Doing all right.
Now, how are you feeling about this top 250? You're new to this category.
We were briefly discussing it. I have not seen the inaugural 250, but I heard from Lloyd about a certain movie about it's like a crash test dummies, like POV cinema verita movie, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what is on the top 250, but I have a pretty good idea, I think. And we'll see. So yeah, I'm feeling all right. We'll have some fun.
Always great to have you here.
Thanks for having me, as always.
First time on the show. So excited to have her. Have no idea how she's going to handle this, but I'm expecting good things. Katie Gardner's on the show. Hey, Katie.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good.
How are you? First of all, what's your relationship with movies? Is this, do you care?
I have a deeply embarrassing history with movies. I tend to stop watching it at the best part. For example, like the bear fight in Revenant.
Mm-hmm.
I stopped right there. So
5 minutes into
that's how movies go for me.
That's honestly the correct choice. Well, how do you feel about the top 250? Do you use IMDb at all?
Yeah, surprisingly, I have seen at least 30 minutes of almost all of these movies. So it's going to go horribly for me tonight.
You did look at these beforehand, right?
I did.
Yeah, so you have a little bit of an idea of what kinds of movies are on here.
Yep.
Well, I'm excited to see how this works. Finally, also brand new guest, brand new to the show. So excited that he's here. Excited to see how he's going to do with this. He's had some big talk before games, so we'll see if he can keep up with that. Jason Dubinsky is on the show. Hey, Jason.
Hey, Nick. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for doing this. So you also big movie guy, right?
Big movie guy. 6'5",
Mhm.
400 pounds. Big guy.
You look it.
Thank you.
But you said that you did take a look at the 250. You sort of have an idea of what these movies are.
There was less Michael Bay on there than I was expecting. But
I think there's more
give
Michael Bay in the
Ambulance a chance.
Criterion.
Armageddon, fun fact, that was the first ever Criterion DVD I ever bought. I stand behind that purchase.
You can do Armageddon and The Rock. Michael Bay's got two.
Yeah, The Rock.
Well, I'm so excited to see how you all do tonight. If this is your first time watching, here's what's going to happen. I have gone to IMDb, the Internet Movie Database, and I've pulled parental warnings from all of the movies, basically. We've done over 700 movies on this show. All of these movies tonight are from IMDb's top 250, user voted, so I can't argue. The people have spoken. These content warnings, also, I don't write those. I don't know who writes these. These are anonymous weirdos with an axe to grind against movies. I really love that they do what they do because I've managed to pull way too many hours of content out of it. I'm excited to see how my players are going to do tonight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read these content warnings. They're going to try to figure out what movies these are from. And unless there's anything else anybody needs to get out before the game, I think it's time to get this going. And to do that, Connor, I'm going to go to you first. Would you like a movie? And let's start big. Would you like a movie from 1926, 1960, or 1980?
Let's go 1980.
1980. Not going to take risks tonight.
Me, never.
All right. First movie of the night from 1980 for 5 points under the category of violence and gore. Violent acts are discussed, plotted, and threatened. Katie has buzzed in. Anybody else? Connor, what do you think this movie is?
Raging Bull.
Katie, what do you think this movie is?
I was also going to guess Raging Bull.
This movie is not Raging Bull. But it could be. All of that fits. For 4 points under the category of alcohol, drugs, and smoking, the protagonist orders a drink twice, and in his past, he had problems with alcoholism. Connor's going to take another guess. Anybody else? Jason's also going to take a guess. Jason, what do you think this movie is?
Chinatown?
Connor, what do you think?
I thought Jay was going to say the movie that I'm going to say, The Shining.
Oh, no.
This movie stars Jack Nicholson. It is number 60 on IMDb's top 250. This movie is The Shining.
We both could have been right with the Jack Nicholson.
It really sounded like you were The Chinatown.
The Chinatown.
Hold on.
Hell of a mashup.
Wait a minute.
All right, Lloyd, what's up?
Number 60.
Number 60.
Did you just call Jack Nicholson The Shining the hero? Did I?
So they're saying that Whiplash is better than The Shining?
Oh, here we go.
No.
He's going to go into his kitchen. He's going to throw all the pots and pans around, and it's going to sound just like the music in Whiplash.
The Shining. Other clues just for fun. Under frightening and intense scenes, it's a very scary film. May frighten most.
That's true.
Frightening and intense scenes. The scene where a woman finds a room where a man is kneeling down in a bear costume with another man is very bizarre. It might creep out some viewers. And under frightening and intense scenes, a man chases his son, a young child, through a hotel with an axe, implying that he intends to kill him.
And that is the hero, though, according to the 4-point question, right?
I called him the protagonist. Protagonist doesn't mean hero. Main character. Also, he's the hero of that story. If you hate families and hotels.
By the way, if that's what you're going after, this show is going to tear you apart, Jay, because each of these clues is ridiculous. Who wrote this? So, buckle in.
All right.
At the end of the first round, Connor's in the lead with 3 points. Lloyd at 0. Jason and Katie at -1 each. Jason, would you like a movie from 1931, 1994, or 1983?
Let's do 1994.
1994. A lot of 94 movies on the top 50.
Yes, there are.
This is one of them from 1994 for 5 points. Under frightening and intense scenes, the movie has elements of comedy, but it's still very violent throughout. Katie and Jason both quickly buzzed in. Anybody else? Connor's also buzzed in. Lloyd, you just here to watch tonight?
You'll see. I'll see. We'll see.
All right. Connor, what do you think this movie is?
I like that. You'll see. Mildly threatening. I'm going to go with Pulp Fiction on this one.
Jason, what do you think?
I am also going to go with Pulp Fiction.
Katie, what do you think?
Forrest Gump.
Unfortunately, it is not the Oscar-winning Forrest Gump. It is, however, the film Forrest Gump beat Pulp Fiction. The 8th greatest movie of all time, according to IMDb.
Okay, cool.
Lloyd?
Good with that one?
That's okay, cool.
Good.
Also in Pulp Fiction, under alcohol, drugs, and smoking, almost all of the drug use ends up backfiring against whoever uses it. And it's not disturbing, and it's almost always brief. Alcohol, drugs, and smoking, 2 men have a lengthy discussion about how hash is legal in Amsterdam. Sex and nudity, 2 characters talk about a foot massage and how it is as bad as having sex with someone's wife. Tarantino. And under violence and gore, for a movie from this director, the violence is rather tame compared to his later work. Nevertheless, it's still very graphic, though, and was considered as one of the most violent films of its time period.
Very well.
And that is how they speak. Connor still in the lead at 8 points. Jason at 4. Lloyd at 0, Katie at -2. Katie, your chance to break out of that. Would you like a movie from 1959, 1981, or 1986?
1986.
1986. From 1986 for 5 points. Under the category of profanity, 10 to 11 F words in the theatrical version, and I think 14 to 15 in the special edition. Perfect.
Extremely specific.
All right. For 4 points under violence and gore, several times people are killed both on and off screen with minimal blood and cheesy effects. Jason is buzzed in. Anybody else? Jason, what do you think this movie is?
I think it's Aliens.
You think Aliens has cheesy effects?
I don't. No, I hate that. But
no, this IMDb user thinks Aliens has cheesy effects. This is Aliens.
Yeah.
That IMDb user is an idiot, and I'm mad. I'm Lloyd mad now.
All right, by the way, welcome to the game, Jay.
Can't make you mad. How dare they?
All 6'10" of Jay just stood up there.
What number on the list was that?
Aliens number 65.
That's too high. Aliens top 25.
So
So Whiplash is fucking higher than Aliens. God damn it.
Other
You guys should be a tag team on this game. The two of you tag in and tag out.
Under frightening and intense scenes, those special and visual effects tend to get outdated in a decade or so and become unrealistic.
No.
This film's special effects are done so well that they still look somewhat scary by today's standards. Children growing up seeing only CGI monsters now may be frightened by the creatures really being present in front of the camera. Lot to say.
People don't deserve this movie.
Violence and gore, a woman uncovers a nest of eggs and the queen, who is present laying more eggs. She destroys many of the eggs with a flamethrower, and an intense chase scene occurs. And frightening and intense scenes, several Marines are in danger of extremely scary and vicious creatures. This film is more action-oriented than the extremely suspenseful and frightening first film. The end of round 3, we have a tie in first place. Connor and Jason both at 8. Lloyd at 0. Katie at -2. Lloyd, would you like a movie? Not a big range here. From 94, 95, or 97?
Well, before I get into that, I'd like to call back to the previous movie from a couple of spots ago, Pulp Fiction.
Fiction, yes.
Do you know why Uma Thurman needed her heart restarted with that hypo? Because she found out that Whiplash was considered better than The Shining and Aliens.
Yes.
So 94, 95, or 97?
97, please.
Sounds good. All right, this movie from 1997 for 5 points under violence and gore. The violence is almost about on par with movies like The Hunger Games, just some more gore added.
Jesus Christ.
1997, you say, eh?
Good Lord.
That was not a good year.
For 4 points. Okay,
No.
for 4 points under violence and gore, many instances of men being shot with arrows and guns, but blood is not shown.
I'm thinking of so many bad movies that could fit this that may be on the top 25 now that I think about it.
All right, for 3 points under frightening and intense scenes, This movie isn't like the other movies from this studio. It's very intense and rather violent throughout, rather than humorous.
Oh, fuck. Someone's going to say it. I'm going to hate myself for not guessing, but I can't lose.
All right. For 2 points under violence and gore, you still have a chance, Lloyd. Although animated, there are several battle scenes throughout the film. These scenes can show human cruelty. A notable scene features samurai raiding a village and slaughtering innocent people. This scene alone features decapitation and several limbs being cut off, and a man swinging his sword at a woman's back. Her backpack protects her from being killed.
Thank God.
That was a lot of information. Lloyd, you're the only one not guessing.
That was a ride.
I'm not sure.
Right. Connor, what do you think this movie is?
Princess Mononoke.
Katie, what do you think this movie is?
My guess is Mulan.
Jason, what do you think this movie is?
Also Mulan.
This movie, not typical for a Studio Ghibli movie. This is Princess Mononoke.
Holy shit.
Wow.
Well,
Aren't all the Studio Ghibli movies fucking violent? Like, isn't that, I mean...
As far as I
follow
know,
the
there
Tarantino
are no
arc.
decapitations in Mulan.
You want to follow a Tarantino arc? That's a huge shoot of film.
The 79th best movie of all time, Princess Mononoke.
No, inarguable. I mean...
Yeah, double digits easily. There's no way that would be after 100.
All right. Final clue in that under profanity. Some name calling, but nothing too bad. Like wolf girl, idiot, moron, ruler of breasts, dope, dumb, and etc. Connor back in the lead with 10. Jason at 7. Lloyd at 0. Katie at -3. Connor, we're going to go back to you. Would you like a movie? Also not a real wide range. 78, 79, or 82?
78.
78.
Wizards!
From 1978 for 5 points under frightening and intense scenes. The film as a whole is very intense, particularly enhanced by its gritty realism. This movie from the 70s.
You're shitting me.
Gritty, realistic, 70s. Okay. All right.
For 4 points under sex and nudity. Near the beginning, some men are seen showering completely nude. Their genitals are obscured, but we see his buttocks. For 3 points, under violence and gore, an animal is shot and killed. No gore is seen, however. It can be seen collapsing and struggling to breathe as it dies. Jason has buzzed in. Anybody else? Connor's also going to take a guess.
Fuck.
Connor, what do you think this movie is?
Can you give me 7 seconds to pull the name out of the back of my fucking head here?
No.
Deliverance. That's my stab.
Jason, what do you think?
The Deer Hunter.
This
My fucking.
This movie is not Deliverance. It is a movie where a deer gets killed. The Deer Hunter. The 185th best movie of all time.
Whiplash is what number again?
Yeah. Because it's just so good, right?
There are 100 movies between Whiplash. 120 something between Whiplash and the fucking Deer Hunter.
But Whiplash is so good. Remember,
I do like Whiplash. I do like it, but no.
In fairness, all of these so far have beaten the recording of Hamilton, which is like number 222.
Now that's
greatest
bullshit.
movie of all time.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
That's amazing.
Other clues in The Deer Hunter under violence and gore, scenes of intense Vietnam combat with explosions and gunshot wounds, quite graphic sequences. And frightening and intense scenes. The Russian roulette scene is said to be one of the most intense and frightening non-horror scenes of all time. Jason, you have taken control of the lead at 10 points. Connor
Nice.
right behind at 9. Lloyd still hasn't buzzed in. Katie at -3.
You can't score negative if you don't guess wrong.
That is logic.
Jason, would you like a movie from 2009, 2019, or 2021?
What the fuck? 2021. Why not?
2021.
Yeah.
One of the greatest films of all time came out last year.
The year that no movie even came out in the theater. Okay.
Yep. This movie came out at some point in the last 20 months and is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Absolutely.
From 2021 for 5 points under frightening and intense scenes, the voice that is used by some characters is intense and frightening. Jason has a guess. Anybody else? All right, Jason, what do you think this movie is?
I mean, if it's right, I agree, and it's Dune.
Just barely making it, number 247 out of 250. This is 2021's Dune.
All right, I agree with
know
that.
Yeah.
Nice one, Jokey. Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Was that Zendaya's voice? Yeah. Let's end.
Other clues under frightening and intense scenes. 2 characters fight to the death in a knife duel. Sex and nudity, very mild exposure in one scene of the side of a buttocks of a large naked man as he sits in a sauna, and in another with a drugged man naked on a table. In another scene, there's a female creature clothed in see-through garments. Nothing can be seen, but if you look closely, you can see the outline of breasts and buttocks.
Oh,
Gross.
naughty.
Violence and gore. Characters are shot and stabbed with swords, blades, and sci-fi weapons. And frightening and intense scenes. Scenes of threat include characters being pursued and attempting to escape giant worms, flying through a sandstorm, fleeing from explosions, being held at knife point, and being targeted by remote devices that inject poison.
Is there a content warning that Jason Momoa will make you horny?
By the way,
How
that
can it be a
buttocks,
desert if Jason Momoa is there?
that buttocks shot is why Oscar Isaac got Moon Knight.
At the
I'll
end
see
of
myself
that, Jason has moved into a deeper lead at 15. Connor at 9. Lloyd at 0. Katie at -3. Katie, would you like a movie from 1936, 1975, or 1998?
1998.
1998.
Big gap right there.
36.
From 1998 for 5 points under profanity. Almost every curse word used at the time is said in this movie.
Wow. Okay. Narrows it down.
4 points under violence and gore. Many people are blown up. Sometimes there is gore, but other times there's not.
What year was this?
98.
Thank you.
Connor's going to take a guess. Anybody else? Connor, what do you think this movie is?
Saving Private Ryan?
This movie is the 23rd best movie of all time, Saving Private
23rd?
Ryan.
Wow.
23rd.
23rd.
23.
The number 23. That's ridiculous.
The number 23 is the number 24th best movie of all time.
Schumacher, baby.
Other Saving Private Ryan clues under violence and gore. Every scene that involves the death of a major character is pretty intense and sad to watch because of how brave they are and how honorable they are. Frightening and intense scenes. Although the movie is very violent, it's never glorified, and anybody who's in high school and or isn't squeamish should be able to handle it. And sometimes history classes even show the film as it relates to war.
Does it?
And violence
Does it relate
and
to war?
Violence and gore. The first 27 minutes of the film depict soldiers landing on Omaha Beach in Normandy. Jason still in first place with 15. Conor right behind at 13. Lloyd, and Katie is at -3. Hey Lloyd, how you doing?
Doing better than last time, physically.
That's good. I am excited to give you these 3 years that popped up. Would you like a movie, Lloyd, from 1927, 1939, or 1979?
Wow. 1970.
That's not one of the options, but 79?
Door number 4.
Sorry.
All right. I thought maybe we'd get an old one on here, but
You overestimated the panel here.
from 1979 for 5 points under profanity, 6 uses of fuck, 2 uses of shit, 1 use and 1 implied use of wanker, 2 uses of bitch, many uses of bastard, piss, and other milder terms.
Go watch this movie immediately.
Katie has a guess. Anybody else? Katie, what do you think this movie is?
Life of Brian.
The 239th best
Yes!
movie of all time. Monty
Fuck
Python's
yes.
Life
Holy
of
shit.
Brian.
That's
Katie's
how
been
it's done,
rope
Katie.
doping us, I think.
5 points out of the gates. Nice.
You okay with that one? Well, I guess you're not okay with how low that is. That just barely makes the list at 239.
I haven't seen it, so I can't judge.
I've never seen it either.
Also, in Life of Brian, under frightening and intense scenes, any impact from violent or suspenseful scenes is mitigated by the humorous tone of the film. Sex and nudity, an old naked man climbs out of a hole. We see his buttocks and scrotum. His penis is covered by his long beard.
Nick, did you say there were 2 implied uses of wanker?
1 implied use of wanker.
I'm having a hard time imagining what that sounds like.
My guess is it's the jerk off.
Oh.
Under frightening and intense scenes, those who are very religious should stay clear of this film. And frightening and intense scenes, people are crucified at the end of the film, may offend some.
Not Mel Gibson.
Jason is still in the lead at 15, Conor at 13, Katie back in the positives at 2, Lloyd at, he's here.
Yes.
We still have 1 round left, 4 more movies, 1 more for each of you. That means there's still 20 points on the board, and it's anybody's game. Lloyd, you're playing the long game, right?
Yeah, let's go with that.
All right, Conor.
Yes, sir.
Would you like a movie from 1964, 1982, or 2015?
64, whatever. 64. God damn it.
All right. I think this is the oldest movie we've hit tonight, from 1964. Under sex and nudity, a man has his upper half exposed. You can see his stomach. When he's in frame, he slaps it. Non-sexual. Jason has a guess. Conor has a guess. Anybody else? Conor, what do you think this movie is?
64. Let's go Streetcar Named Desire.
Jason, what do you think?
Dr. No.
It is not A Streetcar Named Desire. It is also not Dr. No. For 4 points, under frightening and intense scenes, some of the black humor can be especially dark and bleak. Conor has his hand up again. Anybody else? I see him nodding like he knows it. Conor, what do you think this movie is?
Is it another Doctor movie? Doctor Strangelove? Or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb?
That is The Doctor. At number 68 of all time, Doctor Strangelove. Or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb.
The Bomb.
That was right there.
I really thought you were going to hit it. This is the second time tonight. Also in Doctor Strangelove, under sex and nudity, there are pictures of women in their underwear in the inside of the safe door in the B-52. Violence and gore to stop an insane general's attempt to start a world war. Troops from another base are sent to storm his base, as the paranoid commander has told his own troops that the incoming troops are Warsaw troops in disguise. They violently resist. And frightening and intense scenes, a man is riding the nuclear bomb. Famous scene near the end of the movie. The scene ends
Near the end of the
bomb
movie.
explodes. It's not shown that the guy explodes with the bomb, though it can be frightening for younger viewers.
He jumped off just before it blew up.
It was fine.
Nick,
It was in Blazing Saddles years later. He was fine.
What's up, Lloyd?
what number was this movie?
That was number 68.
Oh,
So
Whiplash.
below Whiplash.
Better
Yeah.
than Doctor Strangelove.
Uh-huh.
All right, listen, I'm converted on the whole Whiplash thing, okay? People watching at home don't understand that I was defending Whiplash to Lloyd very briefly before this started, but I now I now share
All
some
right.
level of his anger.
Jason, would you like a movie from 1986, 2015, or 2017?
1986, please.
1986. From 1986 for 5 points, under violence and gore, kids are put in dangerous situations, but the film isn't violent. Jason has buzzed in. Anybody else? Jason, oh, hold on. Connor's also buzzed in. Connor, what do you think this movie is?
I had a guess, but all right, I'll say Back to the Future.
Jason, what do you think this movie is?
Darling, darling, stand by me.
Oh, nice.
This movie is not Back to the Future, and despite Jason's rendition, this movie does remain Stand By Me, the 215th best movie of all time.
Nice.
Lloyd. Ash, please.
Amazing.
Also in Stand By Me, under profanity, one boy says to another, quote, "Why don't you go home and fuck your mother some more?" during a threatening situation.
Why not?
Frightening and intense scenes, a scene in which a boy tells a story of a pie-eating competition that results in many people shown violently ill and projectile vomiting. Violence and gore, a dead body is seen. His eyes are open and has some blood on his face. Spoilers. And frightening and intense scenes. In one scene, the boys are walking on train tracks, and when the train comes, the boys are running for their lives. A very intense scene, as two of the boys were almost hit, but they make it off the tracks. 2 movies remain. We are flying through this show, and it's really a two-person game right now. And that one of those people is Lloyd. I'm just so excited to see if you buzz in at all in this episode.
Going old school here.
You can't lose if you don't play.
No, he will lose this game.
Lose, but you can't go negative.
Lloyd, this is your 15th time on the show. I think you've buzzed in 10 times.
It's amazing.
Discipline.
Jason in the lead right now at 19,
Discipline.
Connor at 15, Katie at
Jaws.
2, Lloyd at 0. Katie, you do get to pick this movie. Would you like a movie from 1989, 2007, or 2017?
2007.
2007. From 2007 for 5 points. Under sex and nudity, Almost no nudity in the entire movie. Only one scene where a man is without shirt. He is wearing trousers, though.
Somebody wrote that warning. Somebody thought they had to warn people that there was no sex and nudity in the film.
You see a man in trousers.
Somebody also thought that Whiplash was number 44.
A lot of people did, apparently, for it to get that high.
For 4 points under profanity, most of the profanity in the movie is used at times where people in real life would use it. Not to mention the movie is very investing, so you forget most of it when it's over.
I ask this question every round, but what year is this again?
This is 2007.
Oh.
Connor's going to take a guess. Anybody else? Connor, what do you think this movie is?
I have two in mind, and I'm just going to flip a coin here and say No Country for Old Men.
The 152nd best movie of all time, No Country for Old Men.
Holy shit.
Well done.
What's the most you ever lost on a coin flip?
Perfect impression. I thought he was here.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I didn't know Carl from Sling Blade was in No Country for Old Men.
Anton Chigurh.
You're trying to convince
Bob
me
Thurton.
that Whiplash is 100 spots better than No Country for Old Men?
No, I'm trying to convince you it's 108 spots better than No Country for Old Men.
Thanks, I feel so much better.
Other clues in No Country for Old Men under violence and gore. Near the beginning, a man is strangled by another man with handcuffs, resulting in the man's throat slitting and blood squirting. Frightening and intense scenes, the villain is considered to be one of the most realistic psychopaths in fiction. And frightening and intense scenes, the movie centers around nihilistic psychopath who kills almost everyone he encounters, deciding some of their fates on a coin toss. Every single encounter with this character is very nerve-wracking.
Also, a man wears trousers.
I was hoping you remember that somebody warned you that in No Country for Old Men, you see a man in trousers.
What they should have warned us about was a spot on the list. But I digress.
All right.
Hints.
One movie remains. Lloyd, you have one more shot to buzz in.
Yeah, sure. What's the years?
Katie, you're at 2. We have a tie currently in the number 1 spot. Connor and
I'll come down to this.
both at 5. Both at 19 points. Which means, Katie and Lloyd, you can spoil this whole game and force us to go to a tiebreaker. Let's see how this goes. Lloyd, you get to pick this movie. Would you like a movie? Where are we from? 1992, 2017, or 2019?
1992.
1992.
Let's see what else this list gets wrong.
92.
Final movie of the night from 1992 on IMDb's Top 250. This movie, for 5 points under frightening and intense scenes. A character, disguised, wheezes and shows his teeth. This can be disgusting. Katie has a guess. Anybody else? Connor also has a guess. Lloyd has a guess. Jason, you could lose this game right now. You had anything?
I don't.
Yeah, right. Lloyd, I'm so excited to finally ask you, what do you think this movie is?
This is Doubtfire.
Connor, what do you think this movie is?
I believe the man who's disguised as Jafar, and this is Disney's Aladdin. Studio Ghibli's Aladdin. My apologies.
Katie, what do you think this movie is?
It's Aladdin. I've seen this 800,000 times.
This movie, in which Robin Williams dons a bunch of disguises to help young people. This is Disney's Aladdin.
Lloyd was on to something with Mrs. Doubtfire, though.
Absolutely.
It was as close as he could get without it.
I would never have gotten that.
And now I'm in the negatives, which I wouldn't have been if I didn't take a guess.
That the Jafar wheeze is truly disgusting.
It's terrifying. Yeah.
I remember.
It's awful.
I have no memory of this.
Go watch it with Bruce. You'll cringe.
This movie just makes the list. The 244th best movie of all time. Aladdin.
Worth every vote.
I don't know how much, with all due respect, good sir. I don't care how much you like Whiplash. Aladdin deserves better. No, Aladdin doesn't deserve better. Aladdin demands better.
I'm not arguing with any of this. I want to, but I'm not gonna. I can't.
You shouldn't. Don't. Please. I beg. I plead.
J.K. Simmons does drum in that movie. And he's bald. And he has muscles.
Yeah, he does all of that in Aladdin too. You just don't notice because he's a chameleon.
Is J.K. Simmons in Aladdin? Probably. Yes. I was going to say yes.
Number 300 at best.
Just to wrap
even that's
up,
generous, but okay.
Just to wrap this up, the other clues here under sex and nudity: a man touches a teen girl in a seductive manner. Profanity: the parrot almost says "what in the hell," but stops himself from saying it.
Parrot almost doesn't curse.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Profanity.
Violence and gore: a teen boy is threatened by guards brandishing swords a number of times. And alcohol, drugs, and smoking: a character is seen smoking a cigar, but he can't be affected in the lungs since he is a magical genie.
Violence and gore in a Sandlot.
That was Aladdin. This was Inappropriate Movie Database. Our final scores for the night. Lloyd, I'm so happy you keep doing this show. Lloyd at -1, Katie at 7, Jason at 19, but Connor taking away the win tonight at 24 points.
Good job, guys.
I didn't do a good job at all, but I was very vibrant, so I'll take that.
This was such a delight. Thank you all for doing this.
Thanks for having us, Nick.
Before we go, if there is anything you want to promote, anywhere you want to be found, or just any last words, Lloyd, I'll start with you.
I'm going to forego any last words because I said most of them during the show. Like everybody to know that Whiplash does not belong where it does, and that's that. Other than that, I'm going to be on a comedy show this Friday in Milford, Connecticut. And I'm going to be doing other things throughout April. And here's what you do. You go on Instagram if you're there. If you're not, I don't blame you. Or Facebook if you're there. If you're not, it's fine. Don't do it. I'm on Lloyd Legacy Sharp on Facebook, Lloyd Legacy 617 on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok if that's your thing. If it's not, fine, don't do it. And you can pretty much find out everything that I'm doing there. It's easier to go there and look than it is for me to take up time from the rest of everybody trying to explain it all here. So just go online, even if it's just for that. Just go online and don't scroll. Don't argue with people in the comments.
Lloyd, I love you. You're one of my favorites. Thanks for doing this. Follow Lloyd. Lloyd's always great. Katie.
Hey, thanks for having me on to rule. And, maybe I'll see you guys again sometime.
Thanks for doing it. You were great. Jason?
I would like to promote director Daniel Chazelle's 2014 masterpiece Whiplash. You can find it online at sonyclassics.com/Whiplash. It is currently streaming on Amazon.com, amongst other places. Whiplash, go check it out. Greatest movie of all time. All right, everybody, Whiplash.
I've already seen it.
At least La La Land had the decency to lose embarrassingly to Moonlight.
Oh,
Jason, thank you for doing this. You were great.
My pleasure.
Finally,
Thank you for having
our
me.
winner, Connor.
I was just gonna kind of do the same thing that old Jokey J just did. I actually have not seen Whiplash, so I'm going to. I'm on the fence on whether or not to see this film or not.
Just go to imdb.com and rate it 10 out of 10.
We got to get it up higher, folks. No, this was fun as always, and yeah, you run a great ship and a great show. And
thank you.
Thanks for having me, bud.
Thank you all for doing it.
Good to see you guys.
Once again, thank you to my guests, Conor Shanahan, Lloyd Legacy Sharp, Katie Gardner, Jason Dubinsky. I'm Nick Martucci.
Cool.
You can find me on all social media at Blundering Idiom. Find the show on Twitter and Instagram at IMDb Game, and on Facebook. If you search IMDb, you search Inappropriate Movie Database. You click the link in the description. Like I said, if you are watching this now and you are in the Boston area, please come out tomorrow, Tuesday, April 12th, 7 p.m. at the Midway Cafe in Jamaica Plain. We're doing this live. It's going to be so much fun. I want to see a bunch of people there. Also, we're doing this show online still twice a week. Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern, Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on this channel you're watching. So you should go ahead and subscribe to this channel and watch more of these. We have a real fun one coming up on Thursday. We're doing movies set in New England, which took me way too long to put together. So I hope it's fun. Also, again, I don't get to promote. I haven't promoted one of these in a while, but if you want to see me do stand-up comedy, you can find me at the Burren in Somerville, Massachusetts at 10 p.m. on Wednesday, April 13th. Nice. I'll be part of that show. That's going to be a lot of fun. I've seen the list. There's some good people on there. So please come out to that. Support all these people. Support the show. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good night.
Thank you, Nick. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, bud.